Alrighty, this is We the People News. Okay, one more time at it. Alright, so as you guys well know, I'm not an attorney, so therefore I'm not going to give legal advice. Educational purposes only. Okay, let's see, never look straight forward, always look around you, be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Arm yourself with knowledge. Okay, use that Second Amendment. Now, this is going to be a little video of the quick version of history. How do we become subjects and not actually living in a free country? Okay? By all rights, within the guidelines of the Constitution, cops are just not allowed just to pull you over for tags, this, that, here, and there. Now, you guys can argue the thing, but this being said, this is how they got their alleged authority.
Servitude.
Oh, by the way, if you want to check out more videos of his, Common Law Right Security.
How the 14th Amendment, 16th Amendment, and Federal Reserve transformed the Republic into a corporate debt system. The transformation of the United States from a constitutional republic to a dual entity system, functioning both as a Republican trusteeship and as a corporate entity, represents a seismic shift in governance, economic structure, and individual sovereignty. This article explores how the 14th Amendment, 16th Amendment, and Federal Reserve Act of 1913 collectively altered the constitutional framework, redefining the relationship between the federal government, the states, and the citizenry. By examining the legal, financial, and societal impacts of these reforms, this article highlights how the American people became the ultimate guarantors of a corporate debt system, with profound implications for taxation, citizenship, and governance. Introduction. The United States Constitution established a republic predicated on decentralized governance, state sovereignty, and the primacy of individual rights. Under this framework, the federal government was a trustee with limited enumerated powers. However, three key developments, the 14th Amendment, 1868, the 16th Amendment, 1913, and the Federal Reserve Act, 1913, fundamentally altered this balance. These measures introduced federal citizenship, direct income taxation, and centralized monetary control, shifting sovereignty from the states and individuals to the federal government.
So the history, educational purposes, right? Before the 14th Amendment, there were state citizens. There was no federal government. That's the reason why it was not in the Constitution. You can come in, and the federal government can kind of bring you in, but they'll find out where you live, or even if they didn't track you down, the state will eventually know that you are in their jurisdiction, which made you a Texan, okay, or a New Mexican, or a Californian. Okay, that's the republic.
The article examines how these reforms, designed to address the challenges of Reconstruction, industrialization, and economic instability, also created a corporate entity operating parallel to the constitutional republic. Through this lens, the federal government's role as both trustee and corporate debtor emerges, with 14th Amendment citizens serving as the collateral underpinning this debt system. 2. The Constitutional Framework of 1789. The Constitution of 1789 established the United States as a republican form of government, characterized by decentralized sovereignty. Sovereignty resided with the states and their citizens, with the federal government.
Now, most people don't realize this, okay? But the Founding Fathers gave us their definition of what state means, okay? And even though the state was broad, the Founding Fathers says, in this case, that states means the people, okay? So when they say states, it's supposed to be the people. And that's the reason why you hear Texas Republic and Texans and all that. and it don't say nothing else, right? Because in the Republic, there's only Texans or Texas, because the state actually means the people, okay? In Texas, their definition, in this state, that means federal jurisdiction, okay? So that means anything that's got federal land. However, they extended that. All attorneys, the bar members, are in this state. It's federal, okay? So they have no authority to even be your attorney unless you are in federal jurisdiction, okay? But as you've been a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, you volunteered into that in this state, and you volunteered to be a subject, and you also volunteered to have a federal attorney to watch over you. Allegedly. That was my research and others.
And acting as a trustee for limited powers. Enumerated federal powers, Article 1, Section 8, strictly enumerated federal powers, ensuring states retain significant authority. Taxation and commerce. Federal taxation was restricted to indirect taxes, tariffs and excises, or direct taxes apportioned among the states by population. This framework ensured that the federal government served the states and the people, safeguarding individual rights and natural sovereignty. Third, Reconstruction and the 14th Amendment. The aftermath of the Civil War necessitated significant legal and societal changes, leading to the ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868. While it aimed to protect the rights of newly freed slaves, its implications extended far beyond its immediate context. A. Federal citizenship. The 14th Amendment introduced a new category of federal citizenship.
Now, I'm under the belief, okay, and again, this is my opinion, not giving legal advice. Lincoln was involved in all this, but he decided to have second thoughts because it was taking freedom away, and he's seen what the cause and effect of the future can be. And there lies the problem. So, somebody had to go out and go boom, boom. And then the guy went to prison. Then he became free and went to England. I mean, can't make these histories up, allegedly.
Distinct from state citizenship. This created direct federal jurisdiction. Individuals became subject to federal laws and obligations, including taxation and debt repayment. Privileges versus rights. Federal citizens were granted privileges and immunities rather than unalienable rights, marking a shift from natural sovereignty to a privileges-based framework.
Natural rights is the republic. Other one is subjects. You're beneath the king. You're beneath the president. They are no longer your servant. They are your master. Unless you are a republic, then they are your servant. And you're their boss. I can't say master, but you are their boss.
B. The Public Debt Clause, Section 4 of the 14th Amendment ensured the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. This clause linked federal citizens to the obligation of repaying national debt, positioned the people.
Think about that word, shall not be questioned. Well, wait a minute. If the slaves got out of hand and started asking questions, what happened? All right? Just saying. When you ask an officer, what did I do? And never answers you, why do you think that is? If you go to your local government, especially if you film them, or your state government, and you start asking them questions, especially when you film them, they send armed guys to escort you out. Well, if they